Welcome everyone to Raw. We're live here from the sold-out Key Arena in Seattle, Washington, and we're kicking things off tonight with our Intercontinental Champion. Well, it's another city and another chorus of boos directed at Roman Reigns' way. And I gotta be honest, I can't blame anybody in this audience right now for booing this man. His attitude has changed drastically over the past few weeks, and it was at Extreme Rules where Roman Reigns retained his Intercontinental Championship. However, we got an even deeper look at to what lengths Reigns would go to try and do it. Reigns would not only attempt to use the middle rope as leverage for a pinfall, we also saw him break out the sledgehammer and the coup de grace. Reigns exposed the turnbuckle pad, sending Zayn right into the exposed turnbuckle. And the damn shame of it all is that that man walked out still Intercontinental Champion. And tonight, he's gonna be handed the newly designed Intercontinental Championship. What disrespect! And the audacity of Roman Reigns to sit here and utter those words. He's continuing to make enemy after enemy. As we see a ref coming down. Judging from Reigns' demeanor, he's content with making all the enemies he wants in the locker room. Referee now has the newly designed Intercontinental Championship. There it is. And look at Reigns staring the ref down. What's he expect him to do? I can't believe we've got to sit through this. I can't believe this is our Intercontinental Champion. Wait just a minute. Our Raw General Manager, Shawn Michaels, has arrived. Who's it gonna be? Oh, yes! It's Tyson Kidd! Tyson Kidd has an opportunity to win the Intercontinental Championship, one of the most coveted prizes that this industry has seen. Kidd's coming off his recent problems with Samoa Joe. Tyson Kidd was unable to settle the score with Joe as the Destroyer was victorious over Kidd in their submission match at Extreme Rules. But Tyson Kidd's looking to put that behind him here tonight. He's gonna go one-on-one with Reigns. And the winner's gonna walk out with that newly designed Intercontinental Championship. What a big opportunity. What an opening contest we have here live on Raw in the Key Arena. Get a good look at the title. It's here on Raw. And I'm going to do my best to be an unbiased commentator here tonight. But deep down, I'm hoping it's going home with the Canadian. Roman Reigns and Tyson Kidd set to go here. I must remind you, fans, we are heading into Money in the Bank later on tonight. As announced last week, we've got our second Money in the Bank qualifying match, as Sami Zayn's going to go one-on-one with the aforementioned Samoa Joe, as a huge lariat from Reigns catches Kidd right in the upper head. His neck bounced off that turnbuckle padding there. We know the history Kidd has with neck injuries. However, he seems to have silenced a lot of critics. And he seems to have put to rest the fact that his neck is not 100%, judging from what we saw at Extreme Rules. Reigns went for a right hand. Kidd able to block, hitting a left forearm now. Kidd sends Reigns for the ride. Leapfrog over. Single leg drop kick finds the mark. Thank you for tuning in here tonight on Raw. We've got a big, big night. Oh! Kidd with a springboard leg drop attempt there. Reigns now Irish whipping Kidd, and a scoop power slam. We've already introduced one newly designed title, and we've got another, as the Vaudevillains are going to be showcasing the newly designed Raw Tag Team titles later on tonight. Wow, what a deadlift sit-out powerbomb into a cover. Tyson Kidd stays in the match. Big show of strength there from Roman Reigns. What an imposing figure Reigns is. You can see the size difference between the two. Oh! Huge clothesline sends Tyson Kidd all the way to the mat. And now Reigns is just wearing down Kidd with those fists. This change of attitude, while I definitely don't approve of it, and the way Reigns has carried himself, this change of attitude does not bode well for all of those men in the locker room. Oh! Reigns with a forearm right onto the back of Tyson Kidd's head. He's face first on the mat. The skill set that Reigns possesses, and this bad attitude, is a deadly combination. Kid trying to fight back here. Tyson Kidd sends Reigns down to the mat. Cannonball from Kidd. Kidd now going up to the top. He's very comfortable here. Wow! We saw that at Extreme Rules. Kidd hooks the leg. Reigns kicks out at 2. The Intercontinental Championship match continues. What a beautiful aerial show there from Tyson Kidd. Kidd now doing his best to stay on top of Roman Reigns. Oh, what it would mean if Tyson Kidd would walk out with that Intercontinental Championship. Blockbuster attempt. Reigns got out of the way though. And a big headbutt. We all know those Samoans are known for their harder heads than usual. I'm gonna take their word for it because I'm not gonna find out. Reigns into a jackknife cover here. 1, 2. Kidd stays in it. I thought for a second there that was gonna be the finish to this match. Reigns now dragging Kidd over to the ropes. Big clothesline sending Kidd over the top. Reigns now. Oh! Roman Reigns might be out. Reigns just crashed a good 15 feet onto his head. This is Tyson Kidd's opportunity here. Kidd's got Reigns back into the ring. Reigns has got to be stunned. He fell awkwardly. Reigns put it all on the line there. Tyson Kidd stepped out of the way. Reigns came crashing down onto the outside. Kidd now setting up. Big blockbuster. Tyson Kidd could be closing in on his first Intercontinental Championship. Reigns slow to his feet. Reigns battles out. Kidd now ducks a huge lariat attempt from Reigns, and Kidd telling this Seattle crowd to get behind him. Big left, finds the mark. Kidd now firing out, and a leg sweep sends Reigns to the mat. Tyson Kidd has his best opportunity here to walk out with his first Intercontinental title. Big elbow. Kidd hooks the leg. Intercontinental Championship on the line. Reigns kicks out. Oh, I thought Kidd had it there. He's got to do a little bit more. Kidd now. A jawbreaker from Reigns. Reigns now. Crucifix. Oh! 1, 2. Kidd still in it. Tyson Kidd's got a lot of fight. He's got a lot of heart. But it might not matter. Reigns setting up for the spear. Kidd countered into a DDT. Roll him over. Here we go. New Intercontinental Champion. No! What a way to break in the newly designed Intercontinental Championship match. Then with a great back and forth contest here between Tyson Kidd and Roman Reigns. Kidd with a right forearm. Reigns now, small package. looking to walk away with this one. No, Kid stays in it. Reigns now calling for the Superman punch. Oh! Superman punch from Reigns found the mark. Reigns now. Kid with the wherewithal. Gets his left foot on the rope. Fortunately for him, the referee saw it. This matchup continues. What's Reigns doing now? Oh no. Ref's gotta get that sledgehammer out of his hand. Oh! Reigns just knocked the referee out. This match has been thrown out. Reigns is clearly gonna be fined. But my God, he doesn't give a damn. Tyson Kidd's gonna win this match. But the Intercontinental title is staying around that pitiful excuse for a human being's waist. You may have noticed a recent facelift to the channel, including a new channel banner and logo, and I want to thank my man SKGraphix. You can check out his work on Instagram at SKGraphix, and if you'd like a channel banner, logo, and much more for your own, be sure to hit him up on Twitter at SKGraphix8. Later on tonight, we're going to find out who the second man on Raw will be to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, as Samoa Joe goes one-on-one with Sami Zayn. Well, get a good look. This is the first time we are seeing Naomi here on Raw. And she's got an uphill battle in her debut match as she goes one-on-one with the Raw Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte. Charlotte made her impact once again. After last week, Asuka and Paige went one-on-one in the main event of Raw to determine who would be the new #1 contender for Charlotte's Raw Women's title. As Charlotte interfered, that resulted the match to end in a no contest. And ultimately, for the Queen, the desired outcome was achieved. She is without a rightful #1 contender to her Raw Women's Championship. Well, a good showing from Naomi here tonight would put her right at the head of the line for a shot at Charlotte's women's title. What a feather in the cap that would be. Oh! Naomi, the recipient of a big boot there from the Raw Women's Champion. Nobody's feeling the glow right now. Knife edge chop from Charlotte. Well, it was at Extreme Rules that Paige challenged Charlotte to try and regain her Raw Women's title. Charlotte ultimately, after natural selection and then the figure eight, would retain her title. And Charlotte made sure that Paige nor Asuka had an opportunity to take that title from her after she interfered in the match last week. Naomi sends Charlotte for the ride. Nice drop kick from Naomi. Charlotte's gonna take a walk here, stealing a page out of the playbook of her father, and what a move! What a beautiful move from Naomi. Naomi now finds herself in control here. Naomi went for a right there. Oh, and just like that, the Queen has turned this match around. Charlotte throws Naomi back into the center of the ring. Oh! What impact to the lower back area of Naomi. She's able to stay in this one as referee signals that was only a 2 count. Look at that humiliating kick. Well, it is known in Charlotte's eyes she's the queen of this division. Naomi here. A head scissors face buster there. Naomi looking to make short work of Charlotte. The Queen could be looking to bow down to Naomi. Naomi missed the rear view, however, and Charlotte with a huge spear. Naomi is in a lot of trouble now. Charlotte could be looking to finish her off. Kick to the gut. Natural selection. One, two, three, and that's all she wrote. Charlotte with a good showing here tonight. Keep an eye on Naomi, though. With athletic moves like that, she could find herself in a good position here in the women's division soon enough. But ultimately, she would succumb to the natural selection. And it was all but curtains after that one. Charlotte stands tall here tonight. Wait a minute, here's Asuka. Asuka's staring down the Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte staring right back. Here we go. Hip attack from Asuka. After last week, there's no way you can blame Asuka for this. Oh! Charlotte with a reversal. Asuka slow to her feet. I don't like the looks of this. Natural selection. Asuka's laid out in the middle of the ring. Hey, wait a second. Charlotte's got a chair. Somebody do something. Hey, there's Paige. Paige is coming to the rescue of Asuka. No! I know these women were one-on-one with each other last week, but this is uncalled for. No! Oh! Paige is wearing out Asuka with that chair. What the hell? Well, apparently, there's another promotion that isn't too fond of the use of the Vaudevillains intro. So we hope you enjoy our take on that very intro. But right now, we are set for what the Vaudevillains are calling a quite manly title celebration after they retained their Raw Tag Team titles against the Dudley Boys at Extreme Rules. And look closely because the Vaudevillains are currently sporting the newly designed Raw Tag Team titles. Well, judging from Aiden English and Simon Gotch's reaction, I don't think the Lucha Dragons are part of the quite manly title celebration. It appears the Lucha Dragons are gonna keep that from happening, because right now we're set for tag team action. It's the Lucha Dragons taking on the Usos to determine a new #1 contender for the Vaudevillains Raw Tag Team titles. Well, I must say I'm a bit disappointed. We're not going to get to take a look at the quite manly title celebration. I had visions of the Vaudevillains killing a Bigfoot with their bare hands, all while being cheered along by women in leopard bikinis. Unfortunately, we're not going to know if that was ever to come to fruition. But what will be coming to fruition is a new #1 contender for the Raw Tag Team titles that the Vaudevillains hold. As it's the Usos taking on the Lucha Dragons. Kalisto out of the gates here. Kalisto misses a drop kick. Uso misses a single leg enziguri. And Kalisto connects with a single leg drop kick. We're off and running here. Speaking of running, Kalisto running the ropes. Big splash. Looks to put this one away quickly. Jey Uso able to kick out. It was very interesting to hear what the Vaudevillains had to say. And the results at Extreme Rules did see the Dudley Boys break up. And a complete shocker. as Bubba Ray left his brother Devon. Sin Cara looking to put this one away, but Jey Uso powers out. This one breaking down already. Ref's got to get control here. All 4 men in the ring. Kalisto Irish whipping Jimmy Uso onto the outside. Jey Uso now leapfrogs over. Beautiful maneuver. Crossbody caught Sin Cara. Cara now with a left. Beautiful Hurricane Rana there. The Lucha Dragons looking good out of the gates here. Seattle crowd here. Ringing the Lucha chants. Double axe handle onto the right arm of Jey. Kalisto here, looking for a victory. 1, 2, oh! Questionably slow count from the out of position referee. Nonetheless, this one continues. An opportunity to take on the Vaudevillains at a later date. Goes to the victor here. Big clothesline from the Usos. They've been there before here on Raw. They've been here before in the WWE. They know what it's like to be tag team champions. And I gotta give the nod to the Usos here. For the experience factor alone. Beautiful flying forearm there. Caught Sin Cara right on the jaw. I must be going blind because that's Kalisto, not Sin Cara. I was told I have better than 20/20 vision, but I'm questioning that a bit after that one. Beautiful neck breaker. Hip toss right into a neck breaker from one of the Usos. I believe that's Jimmy. Don't take it to the bank, though. Atomic drop coming up, yes! Kalisto's in a world of trouble here. He needs to make a tag, he needs to fight out of this. But the Usos are working well, isolating him in their corner. Double super kick finds the mark. This one could be over. Hook in the outside leg. Kalisto kicks out. That double super kick. Catching Kalisto. The resiliency, though, allowing him to stay in this one. A big elbow there onto the back of the head. Double underhook suplex there. Smart idea here from the Usos, isolating Kalisto, the smaller of the two. But these are both high flyers, and if they get going, it's a big problem for the Usos. Nice DDT there, planting Kalisto in the middle of the ring. Sin Cara able to get in there and break up that potential 3 count. But the Lucha Dragons are in trouble here, unless Kalisto can make a tag. Jimmy Uso now up to the top. What a move! The Usos can fly with the best of them. This could be it. Sin Cara, beautiful job getting in to break up the count once again. But you can see Kalisto. Kalisto has taken a beating here. But if he wants an opportunity at the Raw Tag Team titles, he's going to have to do something to change his fortunes. And he's going to have to do something to change them quick. He needs to get over there and tag Sin Cara. You can see Cara once in the matchup. This isn't looking good. Jimmy Uso now. Oh! It could be elementary here. Jay going to the top. Kalisto rolls out of the way. A missed elbow drop. As Kalisto rolled out of the way, has left an opening here for the Lucha Dragons. Kalisto now. Look at this. Head scissor takedown. Tilt-a-whirl head scissor takedown. Kalisto makes the tag and Sin Cara's in. Sin Cara's fresh and he's ready to go. European uppercut. An Irish whip. Flying forearm finds the mark. Sin Cara now. Going up to the top. What a beautiful moonsault. 1, 2. No! Sin Cara knocks Jimmy Uso off the apron. And now it's just Jay alone in the ring. Jay tried to get the upper hand, but it looks like it's short-lived. Beautiful springboard Hurricane Rana from Sin Cara. Kalisto now has had some time to recuperate. Sin Cara rolls through. Look at the power! What a move! Kalisto now. Oh! Jimmy is sent flying. Beautiful move. Kalisto setting him up. Salida del Sol. And we've got new #1 contenders, the Lucha Dragons. What a resilient match fought by these two. Jimmy and Jay did what they do best. But in the end, it was not enough. As the Lucha Dragons' time may be now. Kalisto with the Salida del Sol has put the Lucha Dragons stamp on the #1 contendership to the Vaudevillains Raw Tag Team titles. Well, fans, for the first time since his loss at Extreme Rules, we're going to hear from Finn Balor. It goes down next week on Raw. But coming up next, who's going to be the second man to qualify on the Raw brand for the Money in the Bank ladder match? Will it be Samoa Joe or will it be Sami Zayn? Well, it's not often that you get an opportunity to rewrite the ship and prove yourself coming off a loss, but that's what Sami Zayn can do here tonight. Hey, wait! Samoa Joe's attacking Zayn before this one has even begun. We've seen him do this before. He ambushed Tyson Kidd last month. And now, right before their Money in the Bank qualifying match, Samoa Joe is having his way with Sami Zayn. Joe slams Zayn up against the barricade. Zayn was completely blindsided and then tossed into the steel steps like he was a rag doll. Oh! Joe now. Oh! Zayn could be out of this one before it even gets going. Joe throws Zayn into the ring now, and he's yelling at the ref, demanding for him to get the match started. Ref rings the bell. This one's underway. The underdog finds himself in a world of trouble. Big headbutt. We've already described the effect of the Samoan headbutt. Joe now with the cover here. Yeah, Sami gets his left shoulder up. Come on, Sami. How can you not root for him after what's taken place here already? Stun gun coming up. Oh! Sami's taking a beating. The Destroyer is doing just that here tonight. I can't believe the referee is going to let this one be official. Atomic drop. Sami, I feel for you. This is an official match, however. The winner goes on to Money in the Bank. Sami now. Beautiful drop kick. Last week, Samoa Joe felt he was the rightful #1 contender and deserved to face AJ Styles. Shawn Michaels, however, told Joe he'd have to qualify for Money in the Bank, and then if he wishes to, if he wins, he can cash in whenever. Zayn now, look at this strength. Zayn with Joe up. Joe fights out. Oh! Zayn now, springboard tornado DDT finds the mark. Roll him over. Yes, he's got him. 1, 2. No! Joe powers out. The underdog from the underground is gonna fight. But so is Samoa Joe. Big clothesline sends Zayn over the top rope. This one spilling back onto the outside. Look at the strength from Joe. Joe now dragging Sami over to the barricade. Joe now. Oh! Joe and Zayn just crashed through, destroying the barricade. You can see Sami's down. Clearly taking the brunt of it. These two have to be aware of the referee's count. Up to 8 now. Both superstars back in. An even more beaten Sami Zayn though. Samoan drop. Just give up, Sami. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna quit. You're gonna have to kill him to beat him. Zayn, like he always does, giving it his all. I'd have given up right there, that's for sure. Joe was going for another atomic drop, but Zayn, hitting an elbow, has turned this one around. Flying forearm. Joe now slow to his feet. Blue Thunder Bomb. 1, 2. Oh! I thought Zayn was headed to Money in the Bank. I didn't think I would say this at the beginning, but Zayn has the upper hand. Zayn sends Joe for the ride. Joe blocked the haluva kick. Big knee. Another one. Zayn blocks a third. Where is Zayn finding this energy? Big forearm. Zayn with an Irish whip. Single leg drop kick. Another one finds the mark. Oh! Joe silenced him with a huge clothesline. Joe now. Oh no! Muscle Buster! 1, 2, 3, and Samoa Joe is moving on to Money in the Bank, where he'll have an opportunity to win the briefcase that might allow him to cash in and become the new WWE National Champion.